Good morning, Unity. Or the portion of Unity that gets here on time, which usually does not include me, but here I am. So come on, let's get ready. All right, let's go. Glad that you're here today. Come on, get ready. Let's give thanks in our special way. Come on, get ready. Let's take a time to celebrate. Come on, get ready. Finding our way to elevate. Feel the power. Know the truth. Look on the inside and step into you. Come on, get ready. I'm so glad that you're here today. Come on, get ready. Let's give thanks in our special way. Come on, get ready. Let's take a time to celebrate. Come on, get ready. Finding our way to elevate. Feel the power. Know the truth. Look on the inside and step into you. Come on, come on, come on, come on and get ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on and get ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on and get ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on and get ready. Come on and get ready. Here we go. This one's a personal favorite of mine. Everybody please sing along because I know you want to, so. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need That one raised the energy right up. Just in time to bring it back down. Now is the time to open our minds and let in the light. And now is the time to open hearts wide and let in the joy. Receiving God's love, receiving God's peace, we're gathered together as one. Now is the time to open our minds and let in the light. And now is the time to open hearts wide and let in the joy. Receiving God's love, receiving God's peace, we're gathered together as one. And now is the time to open our minds and let in the light. And now is the time to open hearts wide and let in the joy. Receiving God's love, receiving God's peace, we're gathered together as one. Now is the time to open our minds and let in the light. And now is the time to open hearts wide and let in the joy. Receiving God's love, receiving God's peace, we're gathered together as one. We're gathered together as one.
Wow, thank you, Unity Band. And if I could point out all relatively new members of this congregation, isn't that wonderful? Thank you so much. And good morning, Unity in the Seven Hills. Let's start by blessing the Christ candle, the Unity candle, with that great affirmation: there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. God, the good, omnipotent. I don't mean to embarrass her, but Susan Gallagher has written channeled, whatever you want to say, has heard from Spirit. It was so interesting at the Mysticism and Metaphysics group Pamela leads. Pamela and I had not compared notes beforehand. And both of us, as we shared at the beginning, were just bowled over by this book and we'll have copies, but just absolutely bowled by this from Spirit. So many things, but I think one of the things which, again, one presence, one power, God the good, omnipotent. Spirit says to her, and a lot of times gently calls Susan, little ones, says, release yourself from the belief that there has to be a middleman, that someone has to pay you rather than receiving directly from the universe, for you are the universe. That sense, I think so often that we come to, I mean, so many of us before unity, that there had to be a middleman. I mean, that we didn't have that direct relationship, and that middleman, if we didn't toe the line or whatever, or see everything their way, the middleman was going to cut it off. That's not the deal. The deal is one presence, one power, God, the good, omnipotent. And when we can come alive to that and realize that we have that direct relationship, what I so love both Susan and Pamela really stressing, it's, you know, the sometimes it's called, you know, two-way prayer. You write and then Spirit writes back to you through your hand. Sometimes it's called automatic writing. That, oh my God, this must be something which only the privileged few have, and that's not the deal. We all have it. We all have that. I loved it in yesterday's Daily Word. We'll read today's Daily Word, don't worry about it. But yesterday's Daily Word was healing. And in it, it says, shifting my perspective blesses me. Shifting my perspective blesses me. When we can start shifting it from self-pity, what we don't have, lack, scarcity, what the Fillmores called error thought, and shift that and realize that we all have that connection with that one presence and one power. Things really move along, and we can face challenges with a new sense of overcoming, and even start to see the challenges as opportunities for more spiritual growth. And as a matter of fact, every week we go through one of Unity's 5 principles. This week we are on the first principle. If we could move the slide. That first principle, which really locks into that, why don't we say this together? God is all there is and is present everywhere. This is the force of love and wisdom that underlies all existence. I don't know about you, what I have found is the hardest thing to do is when when push comes to shove, when we hit that pothole in life or whatever, that's when we really need these spiritual principles the most. And sometimes it is hardest for us to remember this, that there is no middleman, that we have that honestly, truly have that direct connection. Is, if there's anybody who is new to Unity or Unity in the Seven Hills, we have a wonderful packet which our greeters will be glad to give you. Explains what is going on in Unity, also explains, there's something going on here almost every day to help you in your spiritual walk, and we'd be glad to give those out to you. Also, afterwards, please join us downstairs for food and fellowship. We'd love to get to know you better. So, other wonderful thing which we have going is our Youth and Family Ministries program. Crystal has been doing such an incredibly wonderful job. And matter of fact, it's growing to such an extent we could really use volunteers to help her with, from no Youth and Family Ministry program to now we're asking, can we get some volunteers to help Crystal? There's a sign-up sheet in the back. Please, if you can, it doesn't have to be every Sunday or whatever, but if there's some Sundays you can step up, we'd be really, really much obliged. So our kids are going to go off to Youth and Family Ministries and then come on back and tell us what they've done. So why don't we bless them and send them off? And now let's bless our youth together. You are a perfect child of God, and God and I love you just the way you are and wherever you are.
All right. This bright light of mine.
Thank you. Now let's say our mission and vision statement together. Let's affirm our mission. Unity in the Seven Hills is a vibrant, inclusive community that inspires individual spiritual growth through education, prayer, and heart connection and sacred service. And our vision, we are an inclusive community. Centered in spirit, we embrace our divine oneness, power, and purpose. And I've asked Lisa to come on up and read us. That was yesterday's daily word. Let's get to today's daily word. Let's make sure that's working.
Working? Great. Good morning. Today's daily word is wonderful. It's generous. The abundance of the world flows through me. I am securely in the flow of prosperity when I receive graciously and gratefully and share my abundance generously. Whatever I share with a loving, giving heart blesses me as much as it blesses the one who receives it. Each time I share my supply, I am demonstrating my trust that I will always have what I need. When I share of myself, I am living my faith that I am a divine being empowered with a limitless supply of divine ideas. The richness and abundance universe flows through me, knowing this. I don't hesitate to be generous with others, so others will know the abundance of the world as I know it. Through my giving, many may also know the blessings of the awesome power and grace of God as they bless me daily.
Thank you.
Go.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And now we have some very special praise music. Thank you.
Hello? Yeah, okay. So before I sing this one, I just wanted to share a thought that I had. Last week we had Linda come and speak and shared so beautifully about building true beloved community. And I said a word when I lit the candle about how much I believed in us and our ability to cross into that third phase of emptiness. And Daniel chose this song for this week. And I thought it was perfect because it really got me thinking about how people don't understand this song. They think that either they agree with it and they love it because they think it's a suggestion of the way that things should be, or they don't agree with it and they hate it because they think it's a suggestion of how things should be. But I'm just going to suggest that it's actually a song about reaching emptiness. And I hope that you will listen to it thinking about the possibility of just emptying yourself of these ideas and constructs that we hold so dear and so close that they prevent us from truly connecting with other people in a way that brings us truly together into beloved community. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you, Unity Band. Wow. As they were singing and playing, what came to me, my first church was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I remember, and there's something called Guthrie Square, named after Woody Guthrie, and right behind the band shell, beautiful band shell and park, is the Woody Guthrie Museum, and now the Bob Dylan Center behind, and the choir from Unity Center of Tulsa and the musicians got up and they started playing Imagine, and people started, and a lot of people, it was a lot of office people, you know, before the pandemic, office people came out and stood and started singing and holding hands and singing Imagine, and it was just a very, very beautiful moment. Well, today we start on an incredible journey based on Reverend Gary Simmons' wonderful book, The Eye of the Storm. The Eye of the Storm. I think that this is one of the most important books that has been printed by Unity in a long time. It's right up there, I believe, with Eric Butterworth's Discover the Power Within You. So how does it all fit in? Well, remember, we've been talking about creating a beloved community. Did a series on talking about creating a beloved community. And was very interesting. And again, no coordination. I didn't know what Linda Dunn was going to say last week, but it fits so beautifully in. Remember, Linda talked about, you know, really creating a beloved community. And what happens a lot of times is what comes up is sort of a pseudo community. She called it, you know, a pseudo community. There's a lot of conflict, which either gets swept under the rug or the conflict destroys what is going on. There are so many beautiful things. I'm not going to go through the list again, but there are so many beautiful things going on at Unity in the Seven Hills. So many positive things we could point to. We're going to be announcing today during the announcements in 1 year that we're going to have a third new member class coming up. I mean, and this is, you know, just really wonderful. As Mary Ellen was working on the pantry out front, she was looking and saying, "Wow, we have a full pantry and all that." I mean, so many wonderful things happening. Food Not Bombs coming in, loading the refrigerator, and it looks like Robin's working. We may have new partnerships. New partnerships which will be really wonderful, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Linda is right. You know, you see the creation, and then either conflict gets swept under the rug, or the conflict, you know, brings down what is being created. That's the beauty, and why I think it's so important. The Eye of the Storm. The Eye of the Storm is about managing conflict. It's about managing conflict, about, by God, even growing spiritually because because you're going through a crisis. And I think it has not just applications to how we can make sure that what we're doing here continues and blossoms, but I think it will help you in so many other areas of your life. Winston Churchill said, never waste a good crisis. Never waste a good crisis. A crisis in, a bad health challenge, the love relationship which you thought was, incredible starts heading south. The funds which you had invested for retirement, oh my God, you found out that Sam Bankman-Fried got his hands on them or whatever. You go through any one of these types of things. Believe it or not, it doesn't have to destroy us or destroy you. You can spiritually actually grow through these crises, and that's what I think Reverend Gary Simmons is talking about, and is really wonderful. I never, Charles Fillmore and Myrtle died before. I mean, I'm getting on in years, but I'm not old enough to have, actually remembered Charles Fillmore or Myrtle Fillmore. James Dillett Freeman, I could have met him, but unfortunately, I have friends who did. Unfortunately, I never did. The one which I really kick myself in the pants for is I was an undergraduate at Columbia in New York City. Eric Butterworth. So many people wanted to hear Eric Butterworth that they just went to, Eric Butterworth on Sunday morning spoke from Lincoln Center. It would have been a subway ride, just a darn subway ride to go hear Eric Butterworth. But in that period of my life, my atheist agnostic period, who wants to go here? I wouldn't have appreciated it. So I for a long time kicked myself. Oh God, you could have heard Eric Butterworth and you didn't, et cetera, et cetera. But then I found that there's this truthunity.net, which is online. Most of Eric's talks were recorded, and if you want to hear them, they're still around and everything, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful talks. But then it struck me, I kick my kids, or not kick them, but metaphysically, say stop complaining about what you don't have. You're never going to find serenity that way. Bless and be grateful for what you do have. It hit me, Rick, why don't you apply that to yourself? Instead of complaining you never met Charles Fillmore, never met Eric Butterworth, why don't you start being thankful for the great unity teachers that you have met? I mean, for example, Reverend Gary, I've had the honor of taking courses with him and getting to know him over the years. We both serve as advisors to Unity Worldwide Ministries. An incredible guy. He's not only a Unity minister and an advisor to Unity Worldwide Ministries, he's also an expert in the martial arts. And I never saw this before, but my little daughter, Therese, has been interested in karate and is in a dojo and, et cetera, et cetera. And she several times has said, don't worry, Dad, I'll protect you, But I have for once started to see that, what Gary just talks about, that the martial arts, there is a spiritual side to all that. And so instead of complaining what you haven't had, remember what you were fortunate and who you were fortunate to study under and get to know. Now, Gary often starts classes, the first class, or seminars. He does it for individuals or for organizations. He oftentimes starts it with the following type of guided meditation. He'll say to people, all right, pretend. Let's close your eyes and pretend. You're in the heavenly realm. This is before you were born. You're in the heavenly realm. And the call goes out. We need volunteers to come to be of love and service, to come to this small planet on the outskirts of the Milky Way galaxy. Is anybody interested in doing that? And you volunteer. This is Gary. You volunteer. And they say, that's great, come on down, let's make a deal, come on down. So you come on down, and the recruitment officer looks at you and says, well, there's one little hitch. Yes, we expect you to be of love and service when you go to this planet Earth, but you're also, while you're on Earth, we expect you to learn a few things. There's some spiritual lessons which we expect you to learn. Are you willing to do that too? Yes, great. let's get your incarnation team together. So Gary says you picture your incarnation team, and you're there and you're deciding upon, given your love and service, given the lessons you need to learn and all that, let's pick the right historical period for you to land on Earth, and who your parents will be, and what culture you will be in, etc., your gender, where you will be on the socioeconomic ladder and everything else like that. Great, that is all decided. And then they say, and now we want you to walk down the forgetting tunnel. So Gary says, remember, you are walking down the forgetting tunnel, and now you are incarnated on planet Earth. And then Gary says, while you are on planet Earth, you start to read something by Rumi. You start to read something by Rumi which really shakes you. And it's this. Rumi wrote, the great Sufi mystic wrote, where did I come from? Where did I come from? And what am I supposed to be doing? And what am I supposed to be learning? Where did I come from? And what am I supposed to be doing? And what am I supposed to be learning? And then Gary says, and with these questions in mind, we gladly go into the silence. And you go into the silence. And then Gary will say, come on out. As we come out, dear Spirit, help this workshop or whatever it is, help this be a time where we can adjust our lives or our organization according to our answers to these Rumi questions of where did I come from, what am I supposed to be doing, and what am I supposed to be learning. And then he goes into either the eye of the storm or something else like that. I think it's in a wonderful, wonderful way and really gets you going. Now, the history about how this started, it's a very interesting story. Reverend Gary was the minister at a Unity church. He gets a call from, they're Americans. They say, Reverend Gary, we are working with two Hindu ascetics who are coming over. They are from the Jyotish order, which is an ancient Hindu order. They are astrologers, and they would like to run a seminar or lecture from your church with and Gary says, Gary looked it up, and he found out this is an order which, where astrology plays a key role. It's 5,000 years old. It goes we're talking way before the Bhagavad Gita, way before the Upanishads. We're talking about when the Vedas were, when the early Vedas were being written in the Indus Valley. And he says, sure, come on down. So and by the way, would you like to speak at the Sunday service? We do a Sunday service. Would you like? Yes, sure. So it is a gangbusters weekend. So it's Monday or Tuesday, and Gary gets a call. And the American helpers of this said, they're trying to set up a study center. And they were so thrilled, and it was such a wonderful weekend. They would like to meet you. Their names are Maru and Sachi. They would like to meet you. And they would like to do a reading for you. Would you like that? Free of charge and all that. Would you? Gary says, oh, that would be wonderful. So Maru and Sachi come over, and they say, when we do readings, it's not so much to predict your future, Reverend Gary, but it's to awaken your future. To awaken your future. And Sachi said, nothing is etched in stone. The future can only be regarded as probabilities floating on a sea of infinite possibilities. What makes things so predictable, says Sachi, is that attention and awareness continually reframe the present moment in the context of past influences. Who we are today is what set the stage for tomorrow. if consciousness is in bondage to the past, or if attention is mesmerized according to ingrained patterns of awareness, the future is simply an extended line from the present here to tomorrow. And that's what makes the future so predictable. And unfortunately, so many people are in bondage, and that's what makes, it's so predictable. But if we can awaken your future to different possibilities, that would be wonderful too. And Gary's sitting there thinking, because Gary's been married several times through several divorces and everything else like that. Then Sachi and Maru say to Reverend Gary, what we would like you to do now, just so so you can see increase our bona fides with you, and that we're legitimate in this. We'd like you to write down 5 significant events in your life, 5 significant events, 5 passions, and 5 disappointments in your life. Write them down, and don't show them to us. So they write them down. He writes them down, and then, they go through their astrological, and then they start talking about Gary's life. Oh my God. They're hitting the nail on the head time after time. And Gary is getting freaked out by this. He feels naked. I heard Ram Dass at a seminar. Ram Dass said, and his guru was Neem Karoli Baba in India. And so one time, it was the nighttime, and both Ram Dass and Neem Karoli Baba are out looking at the stars. And Neem Karoli starts talking to Ram Dass about things from Ram Dass's past, which Ram Dass has told nobody except maybe a therapist back in the States. And Neem Karoli is getting it, right, whoa. And Ram Dass is thinking, my God, if he knows this, then he knows, oh my God, that feeling, you never have a dream and you're feeling naked or something, that feeling totally naked. So Gary is, feeling naked. And Maru can sense this, and he looks at Gary and he says, Reverend Gary, no one is against you. No one is against you. And Gary's, still feeling nervous. And next Sachi looks at him and he says to him, tell us about your past wife experiences. Can you tell us about your past wife experiences? And Gary looks at me and says, you mean past life experience? No, says Maru. What about your past wife experiences? What did you learn from that? And Gary says, well, I guess I've learned that I can't look outside myself for wholeness and completion. Each wife experience has given me insight into how I have placed the burden of my well-being on someone else. And then Maru said, well, can you see how everything that is for you or against you has its roots within you? As you have learned, your wholeness can't be found outside of you. Are you also willing to see that lack and abundance are not outside of you either? Can you see that you have been what you believe? What you believe is opposing you really in the long run has worked out for you. Do people, your wife, your children, your parents, colleagues, friends, or even strangers on the street, hold a measure of your well-being hostage? And in your attempts to find yourself, to get what you need, or to feel safe and okay, must you first gain the cooperation and approval or acceptance of others? And then Sachi looked in and said, no. Can you see how no one is against you? You have no adversary in your life. There is nothing in the universe that is against you or your purpose. What you are seeing so much is predicated on what you are bringing to the situation. And if you can but see it differently, if you can but see it differently, then what you might at first think was against you might actually be for you. And Gary is, he's still, all this is really, he finds difficult to listen to, et cetera, et cetera. But over the next few days, as Gary is thinking, he starts to say, and he writes, I could see our insecurities and self-protection strategies are rooted in a deep sense of incompleteness. And so we attribute our weakness and vulnerabilities to an apparent missing piece in our sense of wholeness and worth. And we're looking outside to fill that missing piece. Reminds me very much of a wonderful story by a man called Shel Silverstein, who many of you know. It's called The Missing Piece in the Big O. It's a children's book, but it's for children of all ages. In the story, and again, the illustrations are very simple geometric figures and all that. Well, anyway, the central character is the missing piece, and she is a triangle. And she can't roll, a triangle can't roll, can't do anything. If I could just find where I fit in, I'd be complete. And so she looks around and she sees all these different shapes and everything, and she finds all these different shapes and she tries to fit her triangle in. It never fits. It never, and they can't roll. It never works. Finally, she finds a piece which looks like a pie. Looks like a pie, except it has a sliver taken out of it. And that sliver is the exact same size of her, the triangle. She fits in, and it's a perfect fit. Oh my God. And they start rolling together, going to parks and rolling down hills together. She feels a completeness that she was always looking for and had never felt in her entire life. Oh my God, this is wonderful. But then what starts happening is they both start to grow. They're growing at different rates and in different ways. And what used to be a perfectly comfortable fit now is, oh God, I'm getting squished here and here. Finally, she finds one day she's spat out of that pie piece, and she's thinking, good riddance. God, was that uncomfortable, and that was oh God, it started out beautifully, but it was unbearable. Then she starts feeling, oh my God, I'm the missing piece, and I'm never going to find where it's completion. And even if I do, it's not going to last. And while she's feeling so forlorn, into her life comes the big O, a complete circle. And the complete circle rolls up to her and says, what's the matter? And she says, well, here's my story. It's sad, but true. And she tells her life story, and he says to her, well, you can roll. She says, no, I can't. She says, yes, you can. Let me help you. And so he helps her up, and she flops. She can't roll, she flops. See, I told you. He said, yeah, but look at yourself. And she looks and she finds she's still a triangle, but she's a bigger triangle than she was before. And they flop again. She flops again. And eventually she finds that she has grown into a complete circle. And now, says Shel Silverstein, if you go to a park, and probably we're so fortunate in Lynchburg, 7 hills, because a lot of our parks have hills. On a good, beautiful fall day, there's a good chance you will see the big O and what used to be the missing piece rolling down the hill together, but as 2 separate wholes rolling down together in that sense of completeness and wholeness. It's a beautiful story, and I think has so much truth in it. I think all of this boils down to a few key points. First, what we see and how we see it is so often conditioned on what we bring to the party. What we bring to the party, as it were. And secondly, there will be crises in our lives. I wish I could tell you, you follow Unity's 5 basic truths, or if you don't like them, you go to a Buddhist temple and you follow Buddha's 4 noble truths and an 8-fold noble path. Boy, nothing bad's ever going to happen in your life. That I don't, or whatever it is, you pick the spiritual path and it's going to be the good ship lollipop. I don't think that is the deal. There will be crises in our lives. There will be crises. There will be potholes. There will be, as Linda Dunn was talking about, there will be conflicts. But the thing, I think, which both Shel Silverstein and very much what Gary Simmons is talking about, what they are both talking about, is that there are ways of going through a crisis, which we will be looking at over time. There are ways of going through a crisis, one way which will destroy you or destroy the organization. There are other ways of going through a crisis with spiritual maturity where, by God, you can grow through the crisis and the organization can grow and flourish through the crisis. And that's what we will be looking at in the future. I think the Apostle Paul put it so well in Romans 8:28, where Paul said, all things work together for good for those who know and love God. All things work together for good for those who know and love God. This series on the eye of the storm, we will be not only doing stuff on Sunday, but we're going to have a spirit circle. Spirit Circle is a small group. It will be meeting on Zoom starting tomorrow, Mondays. It will be meeting on Mondays at 7:30, where we will be talking in greater detail about whatever the principles were which we've been talking about in the Eye of the Storm, or Shel Silverstein, or other things which we bring to it. But essentially, dealing through the crises that we're facing in our lives, or as an organization, with spiritual maturity and a sense of real growth. I hope you will join these spirit circles. There's sign-up sheets in the back. Please sign up if you would like to be part of it. Again, we meet on Mondays at 7:30 on Zoom. I will be sending out the links this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to this series. I think there's so much in it for all of us. So in future weeks, we will see how these insights of Gary and Shel and others can help us grow and learn the lessons. Remember Rumi, what are the lessons we're here to learn? And learn the lessons that we are here to learn, as many of us face the storms in life. And so I hope you will join me in saying, batten down the hatches, full steam ahead, and damn the torpedoes. Thank you, and God bless.
This song is one that I used to sing when I was a camp counselor in college. We would sing the campers off in the evenings to their cabins. And at the time when I was in college, of course, this was a song that, I envisioned like the love of a patriarchal God coming down to me so that I could overflow. And now I see it as the love which we give and receive to each other, the divine love that flows through me to you and from you to me in a great big O. So I hope you'll sing it with me. It's pretty easy to catch on to. Let your river run wild and free. River of your love for me, fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Let your river run wild and free. River of your love for me, fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Overflow, let me overflow. Fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Overflow, let me overflow. Fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Let your river run wild and free. River of your love for me, fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Let your river run wild and free. River of your love for me, fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Overflow, let me overflow. Fill my heart and my soul till I overflow. Overflow, let me overflow. Fill my heart and my soul till I overflow.
Let's take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Let's close our eyes if we feel comfortable doing so. And let's remember those roomy questions. Where did I come from? What am I and what should I be doing? And what am I here to learn? Where did I come from? What should I be doing? And what am I here to learn? And as we meditate on these roomy questions, we gladly go into the silence. Dear Spirit, help us to contemplate and meditate on these Rumi questions, not from a sense of whipping ourselves or beating ourselves or, God, we didn't measure up or anything else like that, but to face it more from the Hebrew word shalom, which so often is used for hello, goodbye, peace, but its roots are in the concept and word of wholeness, and realizing that we are whole, complete, one with the one, so well loved by Spirit, just the way we are. Thank you for this beautiful fall season, this harvest season. And like the big O's, help us to roll down those hills and mountains with joy. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well.
You know, there was a time, I remember back Nancy Purcell days, where we didn't call it announcements here, we called them resources. And I hope you can look upon this as mentioning resources which can help you in your spiritual walk. One of the first things is we do need some more volunteers. I mentioned Crystal and help Crystal with Youth and Family Ministries program. There's a sign-up sheet in back. We're also looking for individuals to help us with the Sunday broadcast team. It's very easy to be trained in it, and our online presence really is important. I have come both here and also as minister in Roanoke. It's not unusual to have people come up to me and say, you know, I've been watching it for X number of months, and this is the first time I'm here live and whatever. So the broadcast team, I think, is really important, and thank you if you can volunteer for that. I mentioned the group which Pamela Smith is running on all things mystical and metaphysical. It's an incredible group. It meets at 1:30 on Wednesdays. It's also online, so you can either come here or get it at your home. And we would ask you to come. It's really an incredible group. On November 15th, we're going to have another new members class. Ari put it in, reminded me, says this is the third one we're doing this year. Yay. The class will be on Zoom at 7 p.m. Come and join us. November 5th, which is our next potluck, we're going to do it Friends and Family Sunday. Please take a card. Please, their cards are in the back. Please take one or several. There probably for all of us are people we know who unity could really help them grow in their spiritual walk, and they're ready for it. I mean, both we know and they really are ready for it. We're asking you to invite them, maybe take them or whatever, but and the card explains it all. Invite them on November 5th to come to the 10:30 service, and then we'll have a wonderful potluck downstairs, and so we would ask you please to do that. November 4th and 5th, the Festival of Light returns. I'm going to ask Robin, come on up. You were going to talk about the Festival of Light. Wonderful, wonderful festival. We are playing an active role in it. To mention Pamela Smith again, she will be chairing it. So let me get Robin. There we go. Thank you, Robin.
Good morning. The Festival of Light.
You're on.
The Festival of Light is where we participate every year, and we have been given a table by the director of the Festival of Light, and unfortunately fortunately she crossed over. So now we still have our table, so we will have, we need volunteers to come, and it works on Saturday and Sunday, which is the 4th and 5th. And even though we're having Friends Day on the 5th, we still need volunteers, and we still need you to come and just show your presence. We have different variety things going on for the table. More planning is in the making right now, but you will find out more about it later. So please sign up. We will have a sign-up list next week, and I appreciate any help you can offer. Oh, we have a sign-up list now. Excuse me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Robin. As I said, we've been very active in the Festival of Light. It's usually a wonderful festival and will be, and so hope you're there. I've also mentioned about the Spirit Circle based on the Eye of the Storm, Monday, October 16th, on Zoom. Please sign up in the back. Thank you. Prayer Chaplain. Regina is our prayer chaplain who will be, there's Regina. She will be here. She will be here after the service to help you on one-on-one prayer. If you're watching at home, please like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications. What I would also suggest, if on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, if you're getting something from the church from here and you like it, share it. Push the share it on your page, or send it email or whatever to friends who you think might like it. It really, honestly, truly means a lot. I mean, I came into Unity, it was the 1980s, so there was no internet back in those days. But the way I got here, the old way, a friend Gordon called me up and said, I think I found the answer to our spiritual quest. It's a place called Unity. I said, I've been to the Unitarian Church. He said, no, this is Unity. It's different. Come on down. If it wasn't for Gordon making that recommendation to me, there's a good chance I wouldn't have wound up here. So you're speaking to people who you feel could really honestly benefit, because a lot of times Unity churches are a lot of times the best kept secret in a community. And so we would ask you please to do that. We are so grateful for the support of Time, Treasure, and Talent that we have gotten. and continue to guess. Why don't we say that great affirmation together? There we go. Unity in the Seven Hills is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Spiritual resources bless us. And we accomplish mighty works together. If you're watching at home, please, you can contribute by Zelle, PayPal. To use PayPal, just click the link below or give to the giving page on our website. You can also give by purchasing fall bulbs. I don't see Deanna here, and we will be having we'll be starting for Christmas that she was talking about. And next week when she's here, I guess she'll talk about what we will be doing for Christmas. Our greeters will direct us to come forward. I would ask, please place your gifts. And again, I know many people give. Give monthly or whatever. Come on down. Your prayers, your good vibes really mean an awful lot. Come, sense the unity candle, and please take an affirmation. And now we are coming to one of my favorite parts of the whole service, something wonderful.
Dedicate these gifts as they grow to bless our community, our neighborhood, and our world.
We made a handprint tree. Hard to hold and talk, but all the kids participated. Everybody's hand is labeled so you can see it. It'll be down on my wall.